What if everything I've built up over the last 10 years disappeared overnight? I'm talking all of my channels, the audience, the ad revenue, all gone, and I'm starting again today. What would I do differently? What would I do the same? And most importantly, how would I grow a channel from scratch in 2025, knowing everything I know now after doing this full time for nearly a decade? That's what we're talking about today. And this isn't going to be a theory thing. This is exactly what I'd do if I had to start all over again from zero. If you're thinking about starting your own YouTube channel, or you already have, and it's not quite going how you hoped it would, hopefully this helps. And if it does, make sure you leave a like on the video to let me know you want to see more stuff like this. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, or I'm at risk of this nightmare scenario coming true in real life, and nobody wants that, do they? So let's start with mindset and niche, because honestly, that's where most people get stuck. And the very first thing I'd do is stop overthinking it. I know people who've spent months or even years trying to figure out their niche, waiting until they feel 100% ready before uploading a single video, and then they never do it. If you're doing that, stop it. Stop it now. You don't need to know your forever niche before you begin. Long-time viewers of this channel will know just how many times we've changed direction over the years. But if I was starting from scratch today, this is how I'd pick a niche. I'd ask myself 3 questions. Question 1, what am I already spending hours a day doing or thinking about? Question 2, what problem can I help people solve? And question 3, what kind of content would I genuinely enjoy making even if no one watched? And the niche doesn't have to hit all 3 of those. A good answer to any one of those questions is fine. And that's exactly the thought process that led me to starting Block Party, our Lego channel, last year. I was already spending hours a day thinking about Lego. I couldn't find any good entry-level videos aimed at beginners, and I knew that I'd enjoy making that kind of content. So it was as simple as that. I just started making those videos. You don't need a master plan. Just start making content around whatever you come up with, answering those questions, and let your niche evolve naturally from there. I started 10 years ago making Football Manager videos, and yeah, I'm still doing that, but I'm also now making Lego videos, and I'm even now disappearing up my own backside, making content about content for content. And it's fine. Audiences will follow if you bring them value or entertainment, or ideally, both of those things. And then the next thing people obsess over is gear. And again, this is one of those traps that keeps people from ever actually getting started. And I've spoken for years about when I started making my gaming videos 10 years ago, it was on an ancient MacBook Air stood on top of a pile of cardboard boxes in my garage, talking into a cheap headset microphone with no camera and no chair. I'm not sure I'd get away with that these days, as content has moved on a little bit in the last 10 years, but so has technology. And if I was starting today, I'd just use my phone. In fact, around half the videos I upload to Block Party are filmed on my phone because it's the most appropriate bit of kit for the job when it comes to stealthily filming inside shops I'm not really supposed to be filming in. And I've not had any complaints from viewers about it. Any half-decent modern phone has a good enough camera for YouTube in 2025. And in fact, lighting is always and has always been more important than your camera anyway. So I'd use the camera on my phone, stick a £10 ring light behind it and call it a day. The one upgrade I would prioritise early on, though, is audio. Bad video is forgivable, and it won't be that bad anyway. But bad audio, definite no-no. So I would grab something like the DJI Mic 2, or even just a simple clip-on mic from TikTok Shop. I'll talk more about gear in a video coming up on Friday, which is going to be a full breakdown of my recommended setup. But honestly, don't let the tech stop you. And now let's talk about the most important part, the content itself. If I was starting again today, I'd focus entirely on help-based content at first, stuff people are already searching for, because in the nicest possible way, they don't know who you are, so they're not going to go looking for you. You need to actually create something that they're going to go looking for. So you need to be answering questions, solving problems. You need to make videos that your ideal viewer would literally type into the YouTube search bar. So these would be questions along the lines of how to do something, what to buy, why something matters, what's the best something, mistakes to avoid in something, beginner's guides to You know, that kind of thing. And I would plan out 10 or 15 of those to kick things off. Then release 1 or 2 of them a week to begin with, so you don't burn out early on, because presumably while starting out you are doing it alongside a real job, so you can't be doing this every day. And make sure you keep the quality as high as possible. And if all of that seems quite familiar, that's basically the stage I'm currently in with relaunching this channel after years of letting it sit dormant. I'm still trying to do that, help videos to bring in the new people. And then once you start seeing traction on those videos, so when people are actually watching and commenting on them, you can then start mixing in some of the more personality driven stuff, like the odd vlog here and there. Again, sound familiar? But it is important to remember that early on, it's not about you, it's about what you can do for your viewer. I'd also dabble in shorts, and not just for views, because frankly, the views don't really pay anything, but shorts and TikToks are a great way to test ideas and build up your confidence. Get those reps in, getting confident talking in front of the camera. If one short happens to do well, it could then become a full-length video. And that's something I've done a lot with Block Party, and it's led to TikTok becoming almost as important a part of that channel as YouTube is. And you'll regularly see me trying out a concept on the Block Party TikTok that then eventually becomes a full-length YouTube video when I see that it's got legs. So we now know what we're making our channel about. We have the equipment to do it. We already had that anyway. And we've got started on actually making the content. We now need to grow the channel, and unfortunately there is no hack or shortcut to growing a channel, but there are some strategies you can use that work consistently, and that's coming from the guy with 2 plaques, Kevy 2 plaques, on the way to the 3rd plaque. I do know how to grow a YouTube channel, and this is what I do to grow a new one if I had to start again. So I would firstly make sure that every title clearly communicates the value of the video, that answers that what's in it for me question that viewers might ask before clicking on it. I'd also use custom thumbnails from day one, and I don't necessarily mean going out and paying a thumbnail designer, but you need to actually put a little bit of effort into your thumbnails, make them work in conjunction with the title to show your viewer what your video is about. Don't just use the YouTube pre-selected one like I still see people doing in 2025, and it baffles me. That little bit of extra time and effort, even if you've got no graphic design skills, and I very much don't, but you can use something like Canva. I used that early on. That extra bit of effort does matter, and it does set you apart from a lot of the dross. You also need to make sure that you hook the viewer in the first 10 seconds. If they click on your video and are immediately bored, YouTube will just bury that video. So don't start your videos with, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. Welcome back." No. Be interesting right at the start. You'll notice in all of my videos, I'm looking back at my script. What did I say? I literally started this video with this sentence. What if everything I've built over the last 10 years disappeared overnight? That's a hook. Hook them in early on, because at least then people are going to stay watching for a little bit longer. And also make sure you're posting consistently. And by consistently, I don't mean daily, I mean consistently. Once or twice a week is fine as long as you stick to it. And you do need to make sure you stick to it. You're training your new audience, you're training YouTube when to expect videos from you. And that is important when it comes to both building up that trust with your audience and also getting your channel up and running in the algorithm. And while all this is going on, I'd also be studying what's working well in my niche. So I already know what my niche is. I'd seek out other creators already making similar content, not to copy what they're doing, but maybe a little bit of reverse engineering might be going on in there. We're looking at what kind of titles they're using that get clicks, what formats work in your genre, what videos do well on channels of a similar size and style to yours. And then also, most importantly, talk to your audience, reply to every comment. Eventually you'll reach a point where you just reply to as many as you can. I can't reply to them all anymore, but I try and reply to as many as I can. Make sure you ask your audience what they actually want. You'll see me do that in almost every video. I'll ask you for your input. I'll ask you what you want next. I'll do it at the end of this video as well. Get your community involved. That kind of community engagement stuff is what turns a casual one-time viewer into a loyal fan who's going to come back time and time again and help you grow your channel. And also, we should have a quick chat about money. Because YouTube's partner program is great, but it does take time to unlock and doesn't pay loads unless you're doing those big numbers. So if I wanted to make money earlier on a channel that I had to start from scratch, these are the things that I do. I'd add affiliate links to products I genuinely use and mention in my video. You'll have noticed I've done a few videos like this lately on this channel where I've talked about products that I use, and then I link to those products as an affiliate link on Amazon or somewhere else down in the description. I do the same on Block Party all the time. I'd also consider setting up a basic Patreon once I've got a few hundred subs. And I think a lot of people leave setting up the Patreon a little bit too long. I've certainly been guilty of doing that both times I've decided to launch a Patreon. But as soon as you've got a few hundred subs and you've got and you've got a decent group of people who are coming back to you every day and want to help you, support you and grow your channel, start the Patreon. You're not forcing them to be a part of it, but you're giving them the option to, and you'd be surprised how many people genuinely want to help out and want to see you succeed and will get involved in that Patreon much earlier than you thought they would. And also look for small brand deals once you've built up a little bit of trust and a little bit of traction with your audience. But the key thing I would say with brand deals is you do need to make sure that the brand deal is supporting the content and not the other way around. So if you're making a video that a brand will fit into, great. Don't make a video specifically to fit a brand in, because the audience can tell when you're making content just to sell something. Imagine if I just did a TikTok where I was dancing around the kitchen in my pants just because I wanted to sell you a pair of pants. You'd see right through it. So if I was starting today, I'd focus on building value first and trust that the money will follow once the audience does, because that's how it's worked for me. So yeah, that was my whistle-stop tour for how I'd start again on YouTube if I did have to start again from scratch today. Don't overthink it. Just start, make one video, then make another, then make another. The first few will be rough, and that's fine. My early videos were rubbish. You can sort the channel by oldest first if you want any proof of that. But here's the good news. Early on, when your videos are rubbish, no one's watching anyway. So it doesn't really matter. And you will get better with time. Again, compare the way I do a video now to the way I did one 10 years ago. It is worlds apart. You do get better. And with all that being said, if you've got any questions, drop them down in the comments below. I am still at that stage where I'm figuring out what this channel wants to be. So your feedback genuinely shapes what I make week on week on this channel. And if you have made it this far, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and stick around for Friday's video where I'm going to go in a little bit more in depth and break down all the gear I'd recommend for a beginner content creator in 2025. Thanks for watching, and toodle pip.